Over the next week and a half, I'll be doing an Ontario road trip around Algonquin Park. I'll be starting in the southern part of the park before making my way north. Once in North Bay, we'll be hitting the trails on horseback. I'll then be ending my road trip with a stop in Pembroke, where we'll hit the Ottawa River for some rafting. This is the Algonquin road trip. It's really surreal that I am going to be traveling again, especially with everything that has been going on in the world over the last 15 months or so. And the last time I traveled was in early 2020, literally a couple months before everything fell apart. And it's been 546 days since I last traveled anywhere. I'm going to be staying within Canada. I'm actually going to be staying within my own province and doing a road trip. And one of the main highlights of this trip that I'm really focusing on is Algonquin Park. So Algonquin Park is one of the largest parks in Ontario, and it's also one of the most famous parks in Ontario and Canada. The park is massive, lots of camping, a lot of backwoods camping, you have the portage in on canoes for campsites, lots of hiking trails, lots of good beaches and stuff like that, and lots of wildlife. And I've never been to Algonquin Park. So I thought, well, this is the perfect opportunity to do that. So we're going to be spending 5 days in Algonquin Park, and then from there, we're going to make our way up to North Bay and spend a couple days in North Bay. And then from there, we're going to be making my way southeast to Pembroke, and we're pretty much going to be driving along the Quebec-Ontario border. Now, I'm pretty excited about this trip, but it also kind of feels like I'm not traveling because I'm not getting on a plane, I'm not having my passport stamped, I'm not seeing a different culture or anything like that. But in a way, I'm really looking forward to this trip because one, I've never been to Algonquin Park, and two, after the last year and a half of being cooped up inside and not being able to really socialize and really just get out of your own house, hiking is going to be absolutely amazing, and doing some very physical trails and hopefully seeing a lot of wildlife. So, first hiking trail of Algonquin Park is Booth's Rock Trail. It's a 5.1 kilometer trail, so let's take a look at all the amazing scenery. Hopefully we'll see some wildlife. Coming up to this absolutely amazing viewpoint. Hike number 2 today. We're doing the Lookout Trail. And this is a much more difficult hike. It's 1.9 kilometers, not too much on distance, but we're going to be going towards a cliff face, so hopefully the views will be a little bit more epic. So it's day 2 of the Algonquin road trip, and again, more hiking. This morning we're doing this trail called Bat Lake Trail, and it actually leads to Bat Lake, obviously, but the one interesting thing about Bat Lake is that it's an acidic lake. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see.
Oh, there's that guy.
Okay, so I just kind of wanted to do a little update here. After the trail to Bat Lake yesterday, after lunch I kind of got a headache and just didn't really feel like filming really any more stuff. And that I filmed a little bit of some of the waterfalls and rapids that they had there, but other than that, that was pretty much it. We walked about 26 kilometers in 2 days, which is a lot, and a lot of the hikes were very moderate, a lot of uphill, downhill, rough terrain and stuff like that. So we kind of decided to take a beach day. We looked up a couple of beaches in the area and we found this one lake. It was about a 15-20 minute drive away from our hostel in Maynooth called Papineau Lake. Feeling much better today, and today's just a relaxing day. It's nice to just kind of relax after a long 2 days of hiking.
It feels like summer. And it feels like summer. It feels like summer. And it feels like summer. Oh. There was something in your eyes that made me let go. Made me let go. Made me let go. We were sleeping in the backseat, talking to the moon, had everything we needed. And now that winter's come and gone, I'm 17 again. My heart is beating stronger. And every time I think of you, it's taking me back there, taking me back there. And it feels like summer.
So it's last morning here in Algonquin Park, and today we're doing the Mizzy Lake Trail hike, and this trail has one of the best chances to see wildlife. So hopefully we'll see some animals on this hike. It's an 11-kilometer loop, so it's going to take a good portion of our day. On the way in, we did see a deer next to the east gate of Algonquin Park. If my dash cam got it, it'll be inserted here. So let's go for it.
It's beating stronger. Every time I think of you, oh, it's taking me back there, taking me back there. And it feels like summer.
Algonquin Park was quite the experience. So many diverse trails, amazing views, and of course, wildlife. Our last hike in the southern part of the park was drawing to a close, and while the Mizzy Lake hike was the best chance of seeing wildlife, we really wanted to see one of Algonquin's most famous animals, moose. However, we ended the trail with no luck and made our way back to our accommodation, when, in the distance, I saw several cars pulled over to the side of the road. In Canada, this usually means one thing: wildlife. So we pulled over and decided to check it out. So we might have our first moose sighting of our trip. So let's take a look. The next day, we took Highway 60 and drove through the entire southern portion of Algonquin Park. The drive was amazing, a winding road through the wilderness with access to our previous hiking trails, views of lakes and towering cliffs, before jumping on the highway as we headed north to North Bay. So good morning from North Bay. We arrived in the evening after traveling all the way through Algonquin Park, and we're going to be spending the day here. And today we're going to be doing some horseback riding. So we're going to take on some trails and see some wonderful scenery and meet some amazing horses. We got introduced to our beautiful horses. I got to ride Crackers. Once on the trail, we enjoyed a leisurely pace through the woods, taking in the nice scenery. After North Bay, we turned southeast and headed towards our last stop of the Algonquin road trip, Pembroke. So we arrived in Pembroke, our last stop on the Algonquin road trip, and we've driven pretty much around the entire Algonquin Park area, and today is our last day in actual Algonquin Park. On the eastern side, we're doing the Barren Canyon Trail with hopefully an amazing view. after an hour's hike on the Cheaters Trail, we finally made it to High Falls, and this place is absolutely amazing. We go down a large slide in the water, there's pools of water, and it's like a natural water park. So we're gonna go take a dip here and cool off from that long hike. The last day of the Algonquin road trip. We're going to be heading to do some rafting on the Ottawa River, and we're going to be experiencing class 3 to class 4 rapids. The Ottawa River is designed in such a way that you can paddle back up the rapids and go down them again. After making our way down the first set of rapids, we paddled back up when, all of a sudden, after rising to the surface, I hit the bottom of the raft with my helmet, and my GoPro, which was attached to my helmet, broke off and was on the verge of being lost forever. I grabbed the top of my helmet to see if I could save my GoPro. I felt something, so I believed I had it. Now, only using one arm to swim, I came up and hit the bottom of the raft again. I went back down and swam some more. I came up and hit the bottom of the raft for a third time. I had no reference as to where I was in relation to the sides of the raft, and since I didn't have a full set of air when you normally hold your breath, time was running out. I swam a bit more and rose above the surface of the water, where I grabbed onto the safety rope and I was pulled inside. All of this drama from when I entered the water to when I resurfaced was only about 7 seconds, but felt much longer. Afterwards, I was able to get another helmet with a more secure GoPro plate and was back at it, rafting down the Ottawa River. on the Ottawa River was a lot of fun. Even though the river is rated Class 3 and 4 rapids, it's still a perfect run for first-time rafters or seasoned pros. Towards the end of our time on the river, we stopped at this cliff face where we could jump off and float downstream. And a half, I was amazed with the ruggedness of Algonquin, the excitement of High Falls, and the power of the Ottawa River. Visiting all these amazing places that I had no idea existed in my own backyard was certainly worth the experience. This was the Algonquin road trip.
There was something in the water that made me go wild. Made me go wild. Made me go wild. There was nothing in the world making me smile like your smile, like your smile. We were standing on the edge with the sand under our feet. We felt like we made it. And now that winter's come and gone, I'm 17 again. My heart is beating stronger. And every time I think of you, it's taking me back there, taking me back there. And it feels like summer. And it feels like summer. Feels like summer. And it feels like summer. Oh. There was something in your eyes that made me let go. Made me let go, made me let go. We were sleeping in the backseat, talking to the moon. Had everything we needed. And now that winter's come and gone, I'm 17 again. My heart is beating stronger. And every time I think of you, it's taking me back there, taking me back there. And it feels like summer. And it feels like summer. Oh, it feels like summer. Oh, it feels like summer. Live for the long nights, live for the good times. I will meet you there. 'Cause now that winter's come and gone, I'm 17 again. My heart is beating stronger. And every time I think of you, oh, it's taking me back there, taking me back there. And it feels like summer.